okay? For instance, you'll see a guy headlining at the Spear. They probably be getting a couple of $1 million. But you'll see a guy on the undercard of a big show probably making more money than that guy.
Floyd, I saw a thing this morning, him talking about keeping his money clean, stuffing hundreds of thousands of dollars in a plastic bag. These guys don't need money. A lot of times when you get these great champions fighting well past their prime, it's to make cash.
Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too.
Terence Crawford calls out Floyd Mayweather, exposing him for chasing fights purely for money. Crawford makes it clear he never once thought about facing Mayweather and has no interest in such a matchup. In his eyes, fights like these aren't about proving greatness, but are simply built to generate hype and big paydays. Crawford argues that Mayweather, after retirement, has cared more about exhibitions than competition. He acknowledges Floyd's era, but insists this era belongs to him, stressing that no money-driven challenge will distract him from the legacy he's already built in boxing.
But I know how you is. You be sizing niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever keep
Never.
it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fight.
Yeah.
I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll be this.
Bro, you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd, nah.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, he did that. Never. That's some hate type shit to me.
Yeah, like plotting. Like,
I ain't never been that type of person ever.
Critics claim Floyd Mayweather's recent return to the spotlight has far more to do with money than with cementing his legacy. Once praised for his flawless record and defensive genius, Mayweather has now leaned on exhibitions that create huge paychecks but little competitive meaning. Analysts point out how he flaunts his fortune at every turn, proving he doesn't even need these fights, yet still chooses them. This has led many to believe that since retirement, Mayweather's focus has completely shifted to profit rather than real sporting challenges, leaving parts of his fan base disappointed with how his career evolved.
Floyd, I saw a thing this morning, him talking about keeping his money clean, stuffing hundreds of thousands of dollars in a plastic bag. These guys don't need money. A lot of times when you get these great champions fighting well past their prime, it's to make cash. We see it a lot. These two don't seem to need the money. So I don't understand the need to do this. When talked about it, Mike Tyson said, I still can't believe Floyd wants to really do this. It's going to be detrimental to his health, but he wants to do it. So it's signed and it's happening. Hey, when Mike fought Jake Paul, a lot was made of him being 58 years old. He's in tremendous shape. I mean, I saw him, and even in there, right? He couldn't get going at the rate that he expected, but early, he was fighting like Mike Tyson. Floyd Mayweather's much younger, but he's so much smaller. So I get why Mike is like, yo, I don't know what this dude wants to do. Because there was a world where no one would ever thought that those guys would end up in the ring together. And again, they don't need money. I imagine, though, it's going to be a boatload of money.
Former champion Timothy Bradley has been vocal about the fantasy matchup between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. He argues that Floyd often had issues with southpaws, and Crawford's unique skill set would be a nightmare for him. Bradley highlights Crawford's switch hitting, sharp timing, and in-ring adaptability as weapons Floyd couldn't neutralize. He dismisses the idea of Mayweather being untouchable, claiming Crawford's unpredictable style would eventually crack his defense. Bradley even insists Floyd is overrated against fighters of Crawford's caliber, a bold stance that has only intensified debates between supporters of both sides.
Oh, absolutely. But Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Zab Judah. Zab Judah, a damn terrific fighter. Terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terence Crawford. Especially from the southpaw position. Floyd didn't like fighting southpaws. Floyd reached with that right hand. You think he gonna reach against one of the best back foot counterpunchers in the game? He gonna reach with that right hand against Crawford? He gonna get slept. reaching with that back end, the way he reaches with that. That level change backhand he throws too. No, man, that pull jab he does too, that ain't gonna work. That is not gonna work. Floyd got a 72-inch reach. Yeah, he had quickness, fast reflexes. However, Crawford got all of that too. He got all of that too. And he got a 75-inch reach. Great counterpuncher. Can concentrate all night. Can put pressure on Floyd. He can even invite Floyd in. Yep. I noticed. Floyd's not having success. He started to step on the gas. That's what he do. And he gonna run into problems with Crawford because Crawford hits harder than him. Crawford is the most complete fighter that I've ever witnessed in real life.
On the flip side, some analysts argue it's unfair to compare Crawford with Mayweather. They stress that Floyd's resume is stacked with legendary names, while Crawford hasn't consistently faced the same caliber of opponents. From their perspective, this makes comparisons unbalanced. Because while Crawford's dominance is undeniable, his legacy hasn't yet reached Mayweather's historical weight. These voices emphasize that Floyd's greatness is already secured in the history books, while Crawford's is still being written. They insist it's premature to place Crawford on the same level as Mayweather before his career is fully complete.
Everybody acting like Bud is the second coming of Mayweather. Y'all got the game fucked up. Mayweather actually didn't get hit. Bud gets hit by dudes that, like, who on Bud's resume is an equivalent of someone on Floyd's resume? So that's it right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Floyd not getting hit by elites, Bud getting hit by non-elites, and somehow y'all think Canelo not about to touch him.
Boxing analyst Showbiz, the adult, made a daring claim, stating Terence Crawford deserves to rank above Mayweather for one major reason. He pointed to Crawford's victory over Canelo Alvarez, noting that Floyd, despite his brilliance, would never have taken that kind of risk. Showbiz emphasizes that Crawford moved up in weight and fought a dangerous prime opponent, while Floyd was more selective and strategic in his matchmaking. That willingness to risk it all, according to him, elevates Crawford's standing above Mayweather's carefully curated career. It's a bold opinion that disrupts the long-standing narrative of Floyd's untouchable legacy.
Why is Terence Bud Crawford greater than Floyd Mayweather? Or better than Floyd Mayweather? Greater is a little bit different. Greater is impact, resume, all that shit. But better. Terence Bud Crawford, after what he did last night, is better than Floyd Mayweather because there is no way Floyd Mayweather would attempt to do that crazy shit. See, that's the insane Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvelous Marvin Hagler after being gone for 5 years type shit. Never being at middleweight, first fight at middleweight, being against Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Terence Bud Crawford never been on middleweight shit. The most he's been is super welterweight, and he was only there once. And he's fighting at 168 against one of the greatest super middleweights of all time, one of the greatest middleweights of all time, pound for pound, one of the greatest fighters of all time, reigning undisputed champion at super middleweight. That is unheard of, and that's something that Floyd Mayweather wouldn't even attempt to do.
Interestingly, Terence Crawford himself is growing tired of being constantly compared to Mayweather. He's been clear that Floyd had his time and that his era is different. Crawford says the focus should remain on his current dominance rather than on a fighter who has long retired. While he acknowledges Floyd's greatness, he believes legacies shouldn't overlap. For Crawford, the obsession with pitting him against Mayweather is unfair because Floyd is past his prime, while he is in the middle of creating history. His stance urges fans to appreciate today's greatness without dwelling on yesterday's.
Everyone is going to start making comparisons with your legacy to Floyd Mayweather. How do you feel you compare with Floyd with the resume you have now?
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
You talk the talk and you sure walk the walk. Your confidence and aura is on another level. Could we see a run as a light heavyweight?
Nah. We ain't going up that much.
No.
Danny Garcia, who has battled elite fighters himself, took a balanced approach when asked who would win between Mayweather and Crawford. Instead of siding with one, Garcia predicted the fight would end in a draw. He explained that Floyd's unmatched defense and Crawford's versatile offense could effectively neutralize each other. His assessment reflects the respect both champions command, as many believe their skill sets are so evenly matched that a conclusive outcome would be impossible. Garcia's take added another thoughtful layer to an already heated debate among boxing fans and analysts.
Crawford has the tools to beat him. He has the long arms. He switches lefty and righty, but Floyd was pinpoint accuracy, tremendous defense. I just think whoever At 147? At 147? Yeah, that's tough. I don't know. A draw.
Okay, what about Oscar De La Hoya and Crawford at 54?
Oh man, Oscar was a hell of a fighter, man. I think they could beat each other. To be honest, I think Oscar could beat him. Oscar's a hell of a fighter. He got great jab, good footwork. Oscar was a tremendous fighter. I feel like people really overlook his resume. He's an Olympic gold medalist. That's the hardest thing probably to get. It's harder than the world title.
Former champion Shane Mosley believes Floyd Mayweather's size would be his biggest disadvantage against Terence Crawford. According to Mosley, while Floyd was technically brilliant, he was simply too small to withstand Crawford's power, reach, and versatility. He argues that Mayweather's defensive strategy could be broken by Crawford's ability to switch stances and dictate the fight with physical superiority. For Mosley, this difference is decisive. Floyd excelled against fighters his size, but against a naturally bigger, stronger Crawford, the matchup would tilt too far. His comments remind fans that size, not just skill, can decide fantasy fights.
Even though I've got serious personal differences with Terence Crawford, and I have ethical issues with Terence Crawford in the way that he negotiated certain things and certain things went down. However, at this point in his career, and I really believe since he's at 135 pounds, there's no question the greatness and how terrific a fighter he is. So after he beats Canelo Alvarez and becomes the undisputed champion in his third weight division, people start asking the question of whether or not he's better than Floyd Mayweather Jr. And I think that is a fair question. And the reason that I say that is because they're the same size. They're the same size. They fought by and large in the same weight classes, and dominated right after one another. Really, there was the period of Andre Ward in between them. I would love to throw Andre Ward in the conversation, but I don't think that the comparison is as clean and easy to make between Terence Crawford and Andre Ward as it is between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather Jr. Just again, because of the similarity in the weight classes that they fought in. So when Shane Mosley chimed in and talked about the two, my ears perked up. Perked up because if you recall, Shane Mosley was the one that gave Floyd Mayweather Jr. his most dangerous fight, without a doubt. His most dangerous fight, the one where Shane Mosley landed on Floyd Mayweather 2 times and rocked him in the first round. Shane was an older fighter. Floyd bared down and won the fight.
Showbiz the Adult later added nuance to the Crawford-Mayweather debate. He acknowledged that Crawford's victory over Canelo sparked discussions of his legacy surpassing Floyd's. Still, he cautioned that legacies can't be judged on a single fight. While Crawford's win was historic, Mayweather's career was defined by decades of sustained dominance across multiple divisions. For Showbiz, comparisons must consider consistency, quality of opposition, and long-term influence. His perspective brings balance, recognizing Crawford's greatness without overlooking Floyd's established place in boxing history. It's a reminder that greatness is measured over an entire career, not one moment.
Not add a heavyweight to my Mount Rushmore. My Mount Rushmore is best boxers. Greatest is different. Greatest is impact. Now you're talking Floyd Mayweather. You're talking Muhammad Ali. You're talking, all those guys. Sugar Ray Robinson, everybody. But this is best. And sadly, when it comes to the heavyweight division, just by nature, the little guys are the better guys, okay? Not only are they better skill-wise, they have more opportunity to do greater things. Because they're small, they can go up weight classes, they can kind of test themselves more. The heavyweight division is at the top of the mountain, all right? So they're the badasses of the badasses. You kind of go up to them, but they can't push themselves up much more, except for within their weight classes. They fight a very big guy or whatnot, like Usyk did with Tyson Fury.
Trainer Stephen Bredman Edwards offered a refreshing take on the debate. He urged fans and media to stop dragging Mayweather into every conversation and simply let Crawford shine. Edwards argued that Crawford's victory over Canelo was a once-in-a-lifetime achievement that deserves to stand on its own. He criticized the childishness of forcing constant comparisons, pointing out that Floyd is retired and no longer relevant to the current picture. In his view, the focus should be on celebrating Crawford's accomplishments and giving him credit without overshadowing it by recycling Mayweather's name.
To Floyd. You know, man, I don't really want to compare them right now, Hans, if we seeing everything that's going on with Floyd and Roy. You know what I mean? And, you know, they competitive guys. Next thing you know, Bud and Floyd to be mad at each other, man, and wanting to fight because people is like putting them against each other. Let's just enjoy the moment. I don't know. It's a close fight. You know, it's things Floyd do better. It's things that Bud do better. But I'd rather not say, because I'm not going to just lie and just say nothing, like, and make up something just to, I got my opinion on, you know, how the fights will go and, you know, but I think we should just let the man enjoy his great moment. He's a great fighter. And I see a lot of immature stuff, and I don't like the way things is going with Floyd and Roy. They two guys that a lot of the younger guys look up to, and they taking shots at each other in the media because of the who's better and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I just want to see Bud enjoy his moment. And, you know, unfortunately, they didn't fight. You know, they could have made, they kind of two different eras, though. Even though they was fighting at the same time, Floyd kind of was doing his different thing over there with PBC, and Bud's a lot young, about 10 years younger than him. So it didn't happen, and we got to just live with it. You know what I mean?
The boxing community remains split, and the debate shows no signs of fading. Many argue Crawford would defeat Mayweather because of his risk-taking, particularly moving up in weight to conquer Canelo Alvarez. Others stand by Floyd's perfect record and legendary defense as proof of his superiority. The reality might be that both men are great in different ways, each symbolizing a unique era and style. Their ongoing comparison highlights how deeply they've impacted the sport, leaving behind legacies that spark admiration, arguments, and endless discussions about who truly reigns supreme.
Terence Crawford's gonna win. I used to think that the size difference was too much. That Canelo Alvarez was like, man, how are they going to do this? He's 168, Terence Crawford's 147. But seeing what I've seen from Canelo Alvarez and seeing what I've seen from Terence Crawford, and while Terence Crawford didn't look great in his last fight, he looked awesome against Errol Spence. But to me, Terence Crawford is as good as they come. He's another all-time great. He's a legend. He's one of the best that I've seen from a pound-for-pound standpoint. But to me, Terence Crawford, he's older, but a lot less wear and tear. He turned pro in 2008, but he has 41 fights to his name. Canelo Alvarez is 63. Canelo Alvarez also has taken more shots, has been in more wars, quote unquote, whereas Terence Crawford was just beating everybody's ass for a very long time. And almost all of his fights have been one-sided. And two, I think Terence Crawford's going to beat him in September. I don't know how, but I think he's going to win.
Crawford's triumph over Canelo Alvarez is widely seen as the defining moment of his career. Jumping to weight divisions to take on one of boxing's most feared champions was a bold gamble, yet he executed it with precision and control. The fight proved not only his skill, but also his fearlessness in taking challenges others would avoid. Analysts argue this victory elevated him into the realm of all-time greats. For Crawford, it wasn't just another win, it was the performance that etched his name in boxing. History as a risk-taker who conquered the odds and succeeded.
After Terence Crawford defeated Saul Canelo Alvarez to become the new undisputed super middleweight champion and achieving GOAT status of his era, a lot of people are wondering now, what could be the next step for Terence Crawford? And to be honest with you, there's a couple options. The great man himself did state a move to middleweight division could be his next step. And of course, a certain someone caught wind of this. With this interview, Joanna Beck posted this with two emojis with a thumbs up and an A-OK. And to be honest with you guys, I would love this matchup here. I mean, Joanna Beck is one of the most feared and avoided boxers in the entire game today. And look, stylistically, this could be an absolute epic matchup. I mean, the boxing IQ and thunderous power in Joanna Beck versus the GOAT himself. Who wouldn't want to see that? But of course, there are rumors that Carlos Adames could be Joanna Beck's next opponent. And that could be a huge unification to see who's the top dog at 160. But after that, who knows, man? And of course, the next option could be the rematch between Saul Canelo Alvarez. And for me, I would absolutely love to see this. I mean, the first time round was absolutely amazing to see Terence Crawford achieve greatness. But to do it again, guys, who wouldn't want to see this? And to be honest with you, it could be even bigger than the first time round. Or option 3, in my opinion, could be retirement. I mean, what he's achieving in the game is absolutely unbelievable. Undisputed, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And defeating the guy, the man himself, Saul Canelo Alvarez, to achieve that. What more is there to achieve at this point right now, guys, honestly? But look, knowing Bud, I'm pretty sure retirement is out of the question. Well, at least for now. But after what he's achieved, no one can question what he decides to do next. And look, guys, for me, even if his next move is to go to middleweight, best believe I'll be there to watch it, guys. But guys, what's your thoughts about all this? And what do you think Terence Crawford should do next? Let me know.
Share your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe and like this video and stay tuned for more like this.